Hi everyone, it's Tess, and today's tip is 461, and don't mind me, I'm just coming in from transplanting sunflowers. I wanted to make sure I got this in because yesterday got away from me and I didn't get on. And yesterday, what I'm going to talk about today is weight loss and self-love. And actually, self-love has to do with all areas of our lives. So I started looking up articles on self-love because self-love, self-confidence, self-worth, those are all things that kind of go together. And as I've kind of mentioned before, that is what changed in my journey when I finally recognized that the hard work had to be work that I did, that the only one who could change anything that was happening in my life was me. I had a lot of work to do. So I decided that I would start looking that up because I'm writing my book and I've been remembering certain things throughout my life where I could have done things a little differently. Not in a place of feeling bad. I'm just writing my book, but it made me think about self-love. What are things that we should be looking for? And hello, whoever's on with me. I don't see who it is, but hello, good morning. And what I found is I found an article from a life coach, and it was actually dated July 4th, 2022. So I wanted to see what kind of things it said we should think about when we want to have self-love, which is really kind of self-confidence, self-worth. And she was kind of talking about it can only come from within, but as children, it comes from those around us. It comes from our parents. It comes from teachers. It comes from all these people in our lives. So we kind of grow up thinking that others provide this for us, but in essence, it's something that's an internal job. So that turn from trying to get it from other people and realizing it's an inside job. Some people pick it up sooner than others, and I'm just going to say I was a late bloomer on that one. But I thought that it was interesting. She had a list of 34 things that you can think about to keep you moving forward on that journey. And the first one was get rid of the idea of striving to be perfect. And that is one that I struggled with. I always didn't want to let somebody down, so I was always striving to be perfect. So I thought that was an important one. Expecting to be flawless is not reasonable, and it's probably really not even a responsible thing to do, but we do tend to do it. So get rid of the idea of being flawless. It does not suit you. It's not helpful. And I see a couple on, so hello, thank you for being here. Number two, and again, these are ideas of self-love. The critical point in my journey was identifying that I needed to like myself first. So number two is realize societal expectations are generally unrealistic. And they were talking about, like, when you think about magazine covers and what you see on TV and social media in many cases is false. I can remember going to one of my class reunions and everybody was talking about the cars they drove, but what they didn't know is on the way in, I noticed they were all rental cars. So it was just a put-on show. And that just goes back to societal expectations are not good. So one, get rid of trying to be perfect, get rid of the idea of being flawless, and then get rid of the idea of following social norms. They're not reasonable. The third one was live in the moment. Just for today. What can you do today? Because today is creating your tomorrow. Today is what you will gain tomorrow. So if you're looking to tomorrow, you've blown a chance to make tomorrow better. Number four is daily gratitude. I love gratitude and appreciation journaling. Both of those are really important to me. And if I'm feeling not happy or lower, like anything below the worry line on the emotional scale, if I'm in any of those places, if I'm practicing gratitude or appreciation, it just makes me feel good. I love that the animals will come and visit me. I love waking up to the sunrise. I love seeing bunnies in the morning. Or I'm learning to love doing a new task. Those are things that can start to bring you up the emotional scale to that place above worry, which makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you move forward. And gratitude at least helps me to do that. Number five is embrace the knowledge that you can't control everything. And Doc V talks about that a lot too, because a lot of us are like fighting for causes, but he says unless you're actively going to fight for it, there's no point in worrying about it, because all it will do is make you feel low, make you go low on the emotional scale, and that doesn't help you to become a person that's strong enough to make a change. The next one is self-care. It's not selfish. That was something I did struggle with for a while too, because I always thought I was supposed to take care of others, and then finally I'm like, People are different, and you just have to accept that. Some people live in a plastic land. They like that absolute rigid. I've talked before, like I love nature. I love butterflies. I love birds. I love bees. I love the natural flow to a tree. There are some people, and they're right on my own block, that would prefer a fake Christmas tree or a fake plastic animal to a real one. They can have whatever they want on their side of the fence. I'll have whatever I want on mine. You can't put yourself in that place of trying to please them, because you're never going to please them. So please yourself and allow them to do the things that please them. And that's self-care. Self-care is about taking care of yourself, and stop trying to take care of others, because all that's going to happen is you're going to be miserable trying to make someone else do what you want. It's not the way this is supposed to work. The next one is check in with yourself emotionally. That's that emotional scale again. Are you above the worry line? Because if you're above the worry line, you can be productive, you can be hopeful, you can be helpful, and you can feel good. But if you're below it, that's when you tend to make the bad choices. The next one is tighten your circle. And Doc V talks about this. Chris Nagel talks about this. Tony Robbins had a post about it yesterday. The greatest you can become is the 5 people that are around you. And I always talk about, I have the heart circle, the people that are my life, my family, my friends, those. But I have a circle of people that are challenging me to reach for more and teaching me things that I didn't know were available. And it's been mind-blowing, exciting, and I love it. I absolutely love the things that have been happening in my life. The next one, and there are 30 some, so we'll see if I go through all of them or if I carry this on to another day. The next one is eat healthier. And I agree with that too. The healthier I eat, the more energy I have. The more energy that I have, the more things I can do towards making the most and enjoying the most I can in this life. The next one is get moving. And I think moving in any way. Everyone has an opinion about the right way to move. I think the idea is just move. As you improve, you'll find new ways. Like I'm working on upper body. This morning I changed the litter boxes. Because I changed the litter boxes, I actually took the 20-pound bag and tried lifting it over my head. Why? Because I got stuck on the zip line. I figure if I can lift a 20-pound litter bag over my head, I'll be better at it next time. So just look for those things. And I think I'm only going to go to 15 today, and then I'll save the rest of them for tomorrow. But so get moving. Just find a way that works for you. Because it's like any other thing. You're just trying to show up. And when you show up and do something every day, it will turn into something that you start to develop a habit of. And once you start to develop the habit of it, it can become a daily practice. But it sounds like you're tricking yourself into it, but you're working yourself into it. I started when I was trying to do work on my upper body, simply putting my hands above my head. My left arm was broken when I was 2 years old, and I forgot that I don't have range. I didn't have range of motion. So I simply just put my hands on the door and crawled it up until I could get that arm up, because that's probably a big reason why, without realizing it, I got stuck, because I forgot that this arm was broken all those years ago. I have adapted to it and totally forgot that it happened. I didn't realize it until I tried to lift my arm up, and I'm like, oh, that's what happened. So just start moving and don't put a lot of expectations on it. Just show up and then decide what path to go on it. Like Dr. V does 1 push-up a day. The next one is they say clear up your environment. That's a good one too. They say if you're overwhelmed, you'll be overwhelmed in all areas of your life. It's like all the disciplines. If your relationships, because Brendan Burchard, when I finished his book, but I'll listen to it again. But Brendan Burchard talks about that the high performance people have balance in all areas of their life, in their health, in their relationships, and in their business. They can succeed in their business because they're not torn up about the other areas of their life. To really truly be a high performance person, you have to have balance in all areas of your life. Then he talks about, this article talked about being unique. And I think that was a hard one too. As a kid, I always felt like I was not part of the norm, and I fought very, very hard trying to be the norm. But I was never going to be the norm because I don't think the same way they do. I like different things than they do. And because I was a natural redhead, that was also a reason why I was outside of the norm. So to learn young to embrace being different, because in embracing being different, you can find avenues that other people don't see. And that's a beautiful gift, because those are the people. Like I tutored learning disabled and reading, in reading and math for a period of 5 years. And then I just actually ended up tutoring any kid that somebody asked me to teach. And what I realized is that we're all gifted in different areas, and we may label them learning disabled, but their strength is more on the creative side instead of on the box of following a pattern to read. And really, maybe those are the people that are going to cure cancer. Somebody who can work within the box when they have to, but thinks outside of it. Because if we all think the exact same. So now the next one is, we said be unique. Next one is let go of toxic relationships. I will say this one's definitely important too. I had to learn not to engage with toxic relationships too. And this was something I learned in the Unlimited group. But if you are feeling good and you're above the worry line, you're in a place of joy, happiness, excitement, curiosity, love. If you come in contact with a toxic person, they're generally worry, frustration, anger, disappointment. They like to live in that place. We all know somebody who likes to live in that place. If you do not allow them to pull you into that place with them, they either have one of two choices. They join you in that place of joy, love, and happiness, or they get frustrated and walk away. And I would never have believed it, but I've seen it happen several times. I've stopped allowing myself to fall to that place. I don't like to live there. If that's where they want to live, I'm sorry, I'll send you love without you knowing I did it, because you definitely don't want it. But I hope that you find a place to be peaceful. But I'm not joining you there, because I know what it's like to be there, and I don't want to be there anymore. So number 14 is forgive yourself. I think that's a hard one that goes into self-love and self-worth. Our expectations of ourselves are harder than they would ever be on another person. Let go and allow yourself to become who you were brought here to be. Things happen, and even the idea of making a mistake, you get worked up. And I used to get worked up because I hated making a mistake, but that's part of growth, and that's part of learning, and that's part of becoming more. So forgive yourself, accept the lesson, be excited to see what you can do the next time around. Number 15, this is a good one to end on, meditate. And I will say, for me, meditation was so hard in the beginning. I couldn't sit still. Thoughts were running through my mind. Well, number one, thoughts will run through your mind. If they're too much, I used to envision a river, and I would just see the statement going down the river. In the beginning, I couldn't stand guided meditations. Because my mind was doing so much talking, I couldn't listen to a voice too. That was like sensory overload. I couldn't handle it. So I would try to listen to quiet music, or I would just try a quiet time. Then I always looked for YouTube guided meditations, and that helped me a lot. So just as Doc B says, show up every day that you're going to try for 1 minute just to sit quietly and maybe listen to just music or a guided meditation, or stare at a spot in the wall, and just let that quiet time come so that your inner guidance and your prayer with God can come to you. So that is a perfect place, like, for me to end it and kind of reiterate the first 15 of self-love. But this has been the single greatest gift I've given myself, and I do believe it is the one gift that has allowed me to succeed this time in my weight loss journey. Most know I started at a BMI of 60. I've lost more than half my body weight. I've lost half my BMI. I'm not sure if that's more than half yet, but I know I can do this for the rest of my life. I'm no longer waiting for the bomb to drop and end up on the other side. I know I have the skills, and the skills are that I learned self-love, I learned self-confidence, I learned self-worth. Whatever one of those phrases is meaningful to you, when you learn that, and when you recognize that the only person you can fix is yourself, it'll change your life. So I'll go over those 15 again, and then I'll cover the rest of them tomorrow, because there's like 30 some of them. But the first one is get rid of striving to be perfect. Don't expect yourself to be flawless. We're not. Number 2, realize societal expectations are really unrealistic. We watch it, we see it on TV all the time. It's not real. And when we strive to try to be what's not real, it just makes our lives miserable, and we fall into that place of not feeling good. Number 3, live in the moment. Remember, what you're doing today is going to manifest tomorrow. Are you doing things today that will make tomorrow better? Or are you worrying and not feeling good, and that's what you're going to make happen tomorrow? Remember, feeling good today and building a good practice and doing something positive will make tomorrow better. Number 4, daily gratitude, daily appreciation. I think those are both absolutely amazing and necessary, and they help keep me above the worry line. Number 5 is embrace the knowledge that you can't control everything. And the number 1 thing is the only person you can control is yourself. Stop trying to control other people. They really don't want you to. So kind of step back and realize the only person that you can change or fix is you. And you may think you know what's best for another person, but you truly don't know what their path is. You truly don't know where they came from. And someone once said it's arrogant to think that you do. And that kind of hit me because I was always coming from a place of love and hopefulness, and being the oldest, they always told me to do it. But I realize now that it's not my journey, it's their journey. And you can send love, but you don't tell them what to do because they don't really want it. The only person you can fix is yourself. Number 6, self-care is not selfish. That was a hard one too. I thought that I didn't deserve anything unless I could identify a certain number of people I helped. I now recognize that in self-care that allows me to help other people, because I will run out of gas if I don't put something in my own tank. They also talk about check in with yourself emotionally. Kind of think about where you're at. Are you at a place where, like any decisions you make, you should be making them from a place where you're feeling hope, joy, and love. If you're not in that place, you need to work with gratitude, appreciation, whatever tools work for you so that you feel better, because your decisions are better when you're higher on the mood scale or emotional scale, whichever one you want to call it. Number 8 is tighten your circle. And they say you become the greatest of the 5 you surround yourself. I know we have a heart circle of family and loved ones, but surround yourself with a circle, a network, a mentoring group, a set of people that are doing things that you want to do because they love to reach their hand back and help you up. And they'll cheer for you as you take that journey. Number 9, eat healthier. You feel better, you make better decisions. My body feels better eating healthier. Number 10, move, in whatever way that is meaningful to you. Move. Don't let other people diminish or try to push you. Just show up. And then each day that you show up, you will find your path. Number 11 is clear up your environment. They say if you're cluttered, that clutter comes in on you and you want to let that go. Number 12, be unique. Being unique, I truly believe, is the answer to changing the world. It's the answer to curing cancers. It's the answer. If we all think the same, we're not going to find anything different. Be unique. Number 13, let go of toxic relationships. They'll pull you down. They'll try very hard to pull you down. You want to keep yourself above that feel-good line. Number 14, forgive yourself. None of us are perfect. Sometimes we set such high expectations on ourselves. Remember, anything that happens is a chance to learn. It's not about being a bad person. It's not about making a bad decision. It was an opportunity that gave us a chance to learn. And number 15, meditate. I hated it in the beginning. I love it now. So if you're not meditating, give it a try and just show up. Just give yourself 1 minute to show up and try to start to get to that place, because it's a calming when you do that. So think about those 15 things. These are about self-love, which is like self-worth and self-confidence. I have another set of 15 that I'll talk about tomorrow, but I just wanted to get on here because, as I said, I've already been out gardening for the past couple hours and I didn't want to let the day get away from me. So thank you for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And remember, self-love, self-worth, self-confidence, that belief in yourself and that healing of yourself is the thing that will change your life. And it will influence those around you. When they see how good you are and how good you're feeling, it's something that they'll strive for also. Thank you, and we'll touch base soon. Bye-bye.